You ever have a moment where you're 100% sure something hasn't happened yet, except somehow you already remember it? Like you dream about a random event, and then weeks later, it plays out exactly as you saw it? That's not déjà vu. That's something even weirder. We all know the Mandela Effect, where large groups of people misremember the past. But what if it's happening in reverse? What if some people aren't misremembering at all, but actually recalling things from a future that hasn't happened yet? Premonitions, time slips, reality glitches, whatever you want to call it, some people swear they've seen the future before it happened. But is this proof that time isn't as linear as we think, or is it just our brains being weird little liars? Let's break it down. The short answer, yes, or we're all just losing it. The idea of remembering the future isn't just some sci-fi fantasy. There are actually scientific theories that suggest it might be possible. Precognition is a thing. Some researchers claim humans have a subconscious ability to sense future events before they happen. The brain might store future memories. The way we process time could be less past, present, future, and more jumbled mess. Quantum weirdness. Some physicists think time isn't as straightforward as we assume, and reality might be more of a choose-your-own-adventure than a timeline. So either we're living in a broken simulation, or your brain is just that good at guessing. The science of future memories, how it might work. Alright, let's talk about the actual science, or at least the closest thing we have to science, behind why some people think they can remember the future before it happens. Your brain is a prediction machine. Some neuroscientists believe our brains are constantly making predictions about the future based on patterns, and sometimes they're weirdly accurate. The time lag. Theory. There's a theory that our brains perceive reality with a slight delay, and sometimes that glitch makes it feel like we knew something before it happened. Quantum retrocausality. Some physicists believe the future might influence the past at the quantum level. Basically, time might not be as linear as we think. So is this proof that some people actually experience flashes of the future? Or are we just exceptionally good at convincing ourselves we did after the fact? The creepiest real-life cases, people who saw the future. If you think this is just a bunch of abstract nonsense, let's talk about actual cases where people remembered future events with unsettling accuracy. The man who dreamed 9/11. A British man reported having recurring dreams of planes crashing into skyscrapers months before it happened. The Titanic ticket cancellation. A handful of people reported horrible feelings of dread and canceled their Titanic tickets just before it sank. The Simpsons writers might be time travelers. Okay, maybe not literally, but how do they keep predicting the future with disturbing accuracy? If even one of these cases is real, then either some people really do get glimpses of the future, or coincidence is a lot creepier than we thought. Déjà vu versus future memory, what's the difference? A lot of people confuse déjà vu with actually remembering the future, but they're not the same thing. Here's how to tell the difference. Déjà vu, the eerie feeling that you've lived through something before, but you don't know when or how. Basically, a glitch in your brain's matrix. Precognition. A clear, specific memory of something that hasn't happened yet, but does happen later. Way spookier. False memories. Sometimes our brains just straight up lie to us, and we convince ourselves we predicted something we didn't. So next time you think you've seen the future, ask yourself, was it real, or is your brain just gaslighting you? Final thoughts, are we glitching through time? So what's the verdict? Are we actually remembering the future, or are our brains just really good at making things up? Is time more flexible than we assume, and are we living in a reality where past and future bleed together? Or is this just another case of the human mind being a chaotic, unreliable mess that loves to mess with us? At the end of the day, maybe time isn't as simple as we think, or maybe we're just collectively gaslighting ourselves into believing we're time travelers. Either way, it's weird. Let me know what you think. Have you ever remembered the future before it happened? Drop a comment below, and if you love exploring the weirdest questions out there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Because who knows, maybe you already saw this video in a dream.